Back in 2005, Intamin once again broke their height record with a 456-foot roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure, Kingda, the world's tallest coaster. But something very strange happened. In the next 15 years, no one would ever again attempt to build a coaster of that height, not even Intamin. Why not? The 500-foot mark was only 40 feet away. Is a 500-foot coaster too dangerous? Join me as I explore the reasons for why a 500-foot coaster has yet to be built and my predictions on if or when we will ever see one. Truth be told, I kinda lied before. I said that no one has since attempted to break the height record with coasters, but that's really not true. There were attempts, but they were unsuccessful, failed attempts. There were plans to build 500-foot coasters, 700-foot coasters, and so many other insane things, but I won't get into those since some of your favorite coaster YouTubers already have videos on that topic. To rephrase it, no one has ever successfully been able to break the height record on a coaster since Kingda in 2005. 2005 is a long time ago. I mean, the fact that Six Flags still holds the record for the tallest coaster in the world after a decade of cheap investments is just sad. I mean, it's lucky for Six Flags, but where's everyone else? There's a reason the 500-foot mark wasn't yet crossed, and we don't know when it will ever be crossed, if ever. Is it too dangerous? In the 1990s and 2000s, Six Flags and Cedar Fair were at war with each other. Who can build the tallest, fastest, and longest coaster? Every time one broke the record, the competition broke the record again. This just kept going on. Millennium Force is known as the first Giga coaster, but it came 3 years after Six Flags Magic Mountain Superman Tower of Terror, which is more like a drop tower than a launch coaster. But it does go over 400 feet. In 2003, Cedar Fair raced to regain the record for the world's tallest roller coaster at their flagship park Cedar Point. They did get the record back when Top Thrill Dragster opened, standing at 420 feet tall, being the tallest and fastest roller coaster ever built, beating Superman by 5 feet. Six Flags wasn't ready to give up yet, and they installed a near clone of Top Thrill Dragster at one of their biggest parks, Six Flags Great Adventure. Kingda opened in 2005, standing at 456 feet and reaching speeds of 128 miles per hour. The speed record was retaken by another park a few years later, but the height record remains with Six Flags Great Adventure until today. Not only did Cedar Fair never try to reclaim that record, they built Maverick next, which was their way of ending the coaster wars for tallest and fastest, and then building a smaller quality coaster that was still a super fun ride. However, Maverick wouldn't become the world's best coaster. That title would go to Six Flags Great Adventure's El Toro and would remain that way for 12 years until Steel Vengeance opened at Cedar Point. There's a few immediate questions that bother me. Firstly, if Six Flags was going 456 feet high with Kingda, why not go another 45 feet and break the 500 barrier? Second, why didn't Cedar Fair or any other park or chain try to reclaim the record? Especially years later when Six Flags will be in no position to regain the record if it were taken by another park. There's only two possible answers to the first question. The reason Kingda isn't 500 feet tall is either because the park didn't want to go that high, either because it was too expensive, or because the state didn't allow it, or because the manufacturer, Intamin, wasn't comfortable going that high. Personally, I don't know what reason it could be. Cause from what we know, it would seem Intamin is willing to build absolutely anything a park asks for. Great Adventure was definitely not worried about breaking the bank back then because they added two $25 million coasters in back-to-back years with Kingda and El Toro. From what I could tell, the state of New Jersey doesn't seem to have any laws against 500 coasters. So why did they only go 456? 456 is also a very odd number. They didn't do 450, they did 456. I think the reason the park didn't go to 500 is the same reason Cedar Fair didn't build Top Thrill Dragster 450 feet. There's always the option to build higher, but the park didn't think it was necessary to crush the record by so much. And the 456 is probably just for marketing reasons since the numbers are in sequence 4, 5, 6. So now that I've answered why Six Flags Great Adventure didn't build Kingda 500 feet high, the question still lingers. Why did no one else ever succeed at beating that record? Is the 500 foot mark too dangerous? Some people may say that the record wasn't broken by any other park for budget reasons, but that can't be true. Carowinds built Fury 325, which cost them $30 million. At the time, that probably could have gotten them a 500-foot Intamin clone of Ka or Dragster, but they instead went for the tallest coaster with a lift hill. Why? Is 500 feet too dangerous? The answer to the question is really interesting. No one had anything against building a 500-foot coaster, and it really isn't too dangerous. It was just never done because there was no manufacturer to do it. But wait a minute, there was Intamin. Parks didn't want to go to Intamin though. Cedar Fair, for one, wasn't working with Intamin at the time, and why would a park want to build a 500-foot coaster if it won't succeed? A 500-foot coaster from Intamin would mean, first of all, breaking the bank. The coaster would probably cost $30 million or more, and that's already an enormous amount of money to spend on a coaster, which right away rules out the majority of parks since most don't have that kind of money. Then you have the second problem. Why would a park want a coaster that just launches you up a top hat and back down? It's a very quick and basic layout and could be looked at as Kingda Boring. It would also have to launch extremely fast, and 500 feet is very high, which means it wouldn't bring in the craziest lines as it doesn't appeal to as large of an audience as, say, a B&M Giga. The third and final reason a park wouldn't want a 500-foot coaster from Intamin is the maintenance. Both Top Thrill Dragster and Kingda were maintenance nightmares for their parks, and going taller and faster only means bigger headaches in terms of maintenance, cause it is Intamin we're talking about. Cedar Fair themselves said they regretted building Top Thrill Dragster, saying the record wasn't worth the maintenance nightmares that came along with it. That's why no one got an Intamin 500-footer. But why didn't anyone build a 500-foot coaster from any of the other manufacturers? The answer to that is simple. Most of the manufacturers couldn't build that high, and the ones that could would be too expensive. A 500-foot B&M Giga would probably be upwards of $40 million. So unless Disney wanted one. Now that we have established that the 500-foot coaster isn't too dangerous and only hasn't been built yet because it wasn't worth the risk for the park, when could we see one built, or never? RMC claims they can go 500 feet with their single rail track, which would definitely be cheaper than B&M. Could we see a 500-foot T-Rex coming to a park in the next few years? Maybe B&M is able to go to 500 and there's a park willing to pay the enormous price tag. Or maybe a park will go to Intamin and give them another chance with the record. Like the video, 50 likes and I'll share my thoughts.